You are listening to the In Between Sales Calls podcast with Derek Shebby, episode 70. Welcome, everyone. I've been working with my outliers every single week, my group that I have. And very often it comes up where I'm asking someone in the outliers to schedule a meeting with me. And it's a follow-up meeting, a strategy session, something that will help them make more money, where we can lock in on what they need to do to be successful. And I just, instead of us going back and forth, me recommending dates and then they recommending dates, I have all these ways that they can just schedule the appointment. They can use, I use Calendly. They click this link, choose the time that works out for them, and then we're moving on. But something that's been happening regularly is I keep asking them to schedule a date and nothing's being scheduled. And then a month goes by and sure, they're doing better than they were before, but they're not doing as good as they could be because I haven't helped them out, with the things that we talked about doing, the things that they specifically need to do to be crazy successful. You break it down to this one thing. They don't have it scheduled. So I encourage them. I said, hey, come on, man, just get it in the calendar. Let's go. Let's do this thing. What are we waiting for? Schedule it right now. Right now. They go, oh, Derek, I'm too busy. I'm just overwhelmed with this and that and all these other things. I say, listen, it'll take you 10 seconds to get a date in the calendar. I don't care if it's this week, next week, the follow-up week. Just get it locked in. Let's just schedule it. So there's this quote that I always liked from Tony Robbins, and it's along the same, vein as what I'm talking about here. And here's the quote. If you talk about it, it's a dream. If you envision it, it's possible. But if you schedule it, it's real. So if you talk about it, it's a dream. If you envision it, it's possible. But if you schedule it, it's real. And so with these people that I'm working with, my outliers, some of them, we talk about it. They say, this is something I want to accomplish. And I say, I'm going to help you. I've got ideas. We can actually do this. And we talk about it really quick. And they say, man, that sounds great, Derek. Yeah, let's do it. And that's us envisioning it. But then the next step is for us to actually start working on it together. And that's the schedule piece. Even my top performers that I'm working with every single day, they don't take that step to schedule it. That's what we're going to talk about today. The success habit today is to schedule your way to success. I really want to encourage you to be thinking, how can I get that date locked in my calendar? How can I make it real? And so I got a bunch of different things where this comes up in sales where I find is that they're the most common places that people don't schedule things that they should. So I've got eight things that I'm gonna run by you right now. And I want you to think about it. Does this apply to you? If it does, start looking at how you can schedule to be more successful in these different areas. So here's the first thing. First thing that I see come up over and over and over again that people don't schedule, that they know they need to do, they know it has to happen, and that is prospecting. Yes, prospecting. I know prospecting is a grind. I know it's tough. I know you might be thinking, this sucks. I don't want to do it. Well, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to make it happen. And the easiest way to do it is just to schedule it. Start by scheduling it. When are you going to do it? If you plan on doing it tomorrow, as an example, then you have it locked on the calendar. Then today, you look at your calendar, you say, shoot, I'm prospecting tomorrow. I need to get ready today. And you'll find that deadline's coming up naturally. It has, you want to be effective tomorrow. So you'll do things today to make sure that timeline, that scheduled activity is a success. And many of you know how to prospect. Many of you know how to face your fears, things that I talk about in my courses and things that I talk about in these podcasts. Many of you already know what you need to do, but it's your execution that's failing. You're just not getting out there and actually doing it. You'll be surprised at scheduling it and how scheduling it and put it in your calendar is a step towards making that activity real. That's the first thing, and that's prospecting. The second activity that I see sales leaders miss is role play. Role play is a secret habit of top performers. As I've mentioned in my previous podcast, it is a secret habit of top performers. And that means if you're a top performer, you always do it. You always role play. You always get your mind and trick your mind into thinking you're in front of the customer actually doing an activity, a meeting, a proposal presentation, prospecting, your script, right? Things like that. You making your mind think you're actually doing it and saying it out loud is role play. And it's proven to be crazy successful for you to do. But people don't role play. It's weird. The better you get, the more you can role play anywhere. You role play in your car on the way to work. You role play, in between appointments. You role play as you're getting ready in the morning. You're always role playing. You're just doing it. But sometimes you need to role play someone else. Sometimes you're going on an appointment with your boss or with multiple people, different specialists, things like that. And you want to make sure that you role play with them. Guess what? Schedule it. Schedule it. Get it on the calendar. You'll be surprised at how much better everything goes once you just lock it in. And sometimes you look at your schedule and you go, I don't know when we're going to do it. Well, when does it make the most sense to do it? Is it a week from now? Do you have that much time? Well, schedule it for a week from now, because chances are you probably aren't booked a week from now. So put it on the calendar. That's number 2, role play. Okay, number 3 are proposals. I hear way too often reps tell me, oh, yeah, the customer just told me I can come by whenever and present the proposal. Yeah, no. Chances are, if that's the case, you're probably not meeting with the right person, but also you could go there whenever you have your proposal ready, and they might not actually be ready that moment. You might catch them and they might only have 30 seconds for you. They might only have 2 minutes for you. Hey, sure, they said to come by anytime, but you came by that specific time that you were ready, just like they said, come by when you have it done. And it wasn't a good time for them. Listen, you schedule proposal presentations. None of this, just drop it by when you're in the area. No. Or just send it over to me in an email. No. Schedule it. Okay? Always do that. You have to do that. The more successful you become, the more you realize all of this needs to be in the calendar. And that doesn't mean put in the calendar like a range of time of when you think you're going to go by and present a proposal. No, schedule the time that you actually plan on going because the customer is available at that time, right? Get your calendar synced up, right? It's got to happen. So that's number 3, proposals. Number 4 are checkpoints. Okay, checkpoints. That's the 4th thing I noticed. It doesn't happen. I met with another person in my outliers group, and we came up with this plan. He has these things that he wants to accomplish, and I understand his vision and what he wants to go, and I want to help him. And I said, this is totally doable. We can do this. I said, I can help. And I said, but this is what we need to do. We need to schedule out checkpoints along the way. So we need to get this done by this date, and then we're gonna meet that on that date, and we need to schedule a time to meet for the next milestone that needs to happen, the next checkpoint that needs to happen. Get used to scheduling out checkpoints. What you're going to find is the more of these things that you plug in your calendar, the more you'll look ahead and say, shoot, I've got this thing going on. I got to finish that by Thursday. I haven't done that yet. So because I've done that yet by Thursday, and I only have another 2 days, man, I got to get that done now. Just by you having these checkpoints in there, they become this accountability in your calendar to get something done. So it doesn't matter when you're scheduling these checkpoints for. Schedule them for a week out, schedule them for 2 weeks, schedule for a month out. Obviously, it depends on what it's about. But as soon as you schedule it, you're going to find that it's always there, and you look at it and say, shoot, I got to get that thing ready. I'll give you an example. Next Thursday, I'm flying to Orlando, and I'm doing this big presentation in front of a lot of business owners. There's going to be a couple hundred people there. I'm getting up there speaking for an hour, and I know what I want to talk about, but I haven't put it together yet. But I keep looking on my calendar, and I know that there's this date where I have to go, and I'm going to be there presenting this presentation, and it's not done. But I know that because it's there, it's on my calendar, I'm going to get it done. I have to get it done because I keep looking at it thinking it has to be done by this time, right? Same sort of thing for you. You got to look at your calendar and say, what do you have scheduled out? What checkpoints maybe are along the way that you need to make sure you do to get this large project done? Okay, number five. Number five are strategy sessions. Do you have those scheduled with your manager? You have those scheduled with your boss? Do you have those scheduled with me if you're in my outliers? Get it scheduled. Get it on the schedule. Oh, but Derek, I'm too busy right now. I got this going on. Okay, great. Schedule the following week or the week after that when you probably aren't busy. Schedule it. Get it on the calendar because that time, strategy sessions is so important for you because it's about you and it's about you getting better. And it's about you having something focused about you getting better, your own development. So if you can schedule that with your bosses, get it on the calendar and obviously have a goal for what you want to accomplish during that strategy session. It should be about something that matters to you. Okay, number six. Number six is what I would say is part of your life, not necessarily your work, but definitely part of your life. And I'll speak from experience here. And for me, it's date nights. So if you have a significant other, if you have someone that you care about, that whether you're married or you're dating or something like that, you need to schedule out date nights. Yes, for B2B salespeople, you do. Because if we don't have that scheduled, we're going to keep working, right? We're going to work so much that we're going to make, oh, shoot, I didn't have time. But you always have time. We just have to schedule it out. You know, my wife and I plan on having at least one date night a month. And so we plan that out in advance. Because we have 3 kids, we got to get a sitter. It's kind of a big thing. But when we schedule this thing out 3 weeks in advance, I'm looking at it going like, oh, I don't have anything going on that day. And so we plan someone to take care of the kids. We plan that thing around it. And then next thing you know, the days up until that date night come and I go, oh, shoot, we have a date night tonight. Sweet. I'm so glad we planned this thing out. Because your head's down, you're working so hard, and you forget about things that are really important to you, your personal life too. So think about that. If you have a significant other, you're married, you know, you're dating, things like that, you need to schedule out a date night. Get it on your calendar or else you will work and you will miss it. And you're going to neglect something that probably means more to you than anyone. Number 7 follows the same sort of theme here. And that is to schedule a vacation, schedule downtime. I was talking to my outliers about this week, actually. And someone goes, Derek, I know you said I need to schedule something in Q1 because we're doing this challenge. It's a fun challenge. And it's schedule. I wanted them to schedule out their vacation. But I said, schedule it in Q1, which is the first 3 months of the year. The people in my outliers are like, I can't take time off in the first 3 months of the year. We just had vacation at the end of the year with the holidays and we want me to schedule it again. And I said, no, I want you to look ahead this year and say, when could I go on vacation? And I chose to go on vacation. I've got them sprinkled already throughout the year. I've got one in April. I've got one in, I'm going on my anniversary trip. We're going to go to Napa in April. And then we're going to take the family to Buellton, which is by Santa Barbara, in September. We're going to do that. So we already planned that out. And I'm glad, my wife obviously does everything for that. But we talked about it and we said, this is what we want to do. Let's make it happen. Scheduling vacations is so important. It doesn't need to be right now. But as you get closer to those dates, you find that you'll end up working harder because you want to get things done before you go on vacation. It's funny. I had someone tell me at that moment, someone in my group, who said, Derek, I went on 4 vacations last year and I had the best year of my career. So think about that. You could be working so hard. You could be looking ahead saying, I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know how I'm going to be able to take time off, but you got to take one or you're going to burn out. And not only that, you feel so much better when you come back too. You'll do great up until that moment that you leave, and you'll come back rested and excited, and you'll get back after it again. So plan downtime. Plan your vacations out. Do it now. Schedule it. Get it on the calendar right now. Okay, the last one. The 8th thing that I notice you need to do on a regular basis to schedule your way to success is you got to exercise. I had someone tell me today they're envious of how I got this exercise routine and health routine, and they don't know how I do it. Well, I'll tell you how I do it. Can you guess? I schedule it. I schedule it. It starts at 5:30 in the morning, 5:30 a.m. And so that means I have to get up at 4:45. for me to get over there before it starts, I have to leave the house at like 5:15. And I get there and I get ready and then I basically work out. It's a circuit training type workout, a boot camp. They basically tell me what to do for 45 minutes. And then I leave and I come back and I get ready for the day and I take my kids to school and all that kind of stuff. So there's things that I do, but I do it early enough while everyone's still asleep, but I can do that. But I would not do it. I would not get up in the morning if I didn't have a scheduled workout. I mean, it's not me going to the gym, I'm just going to go to the gym and work out. No, I chose a specific gym where there's a group of people that are all signed up and you don't want to cancel. They're all signed up for a certain time. We got to sign up in advance if you want to make sure you get your time. And I do that. And I feel so much better. I feel like my energy's through the roof every single day. I feel like I'm on fire when I'm working with my customers, when I'm doing these podcasts. But if you can tell, I worked out this morning. But I would not exercise. I would not be doing it if it wasn't scheduled in my calendar. Think about that. That's why I get up. I'm like, shoot, I got to get up. I had this thing scheduled. I got to get up at 4:45 to get ready. Same sort of thing for you. Your energy level, your health matters. It's going to matter in the long run. It's going to change how you interact with your customers and how you approach every single day. You need to schedule it. The 8 things that I just mentioned, where I talked about prospecting, right? Prospecting, role play, proposals, scheduling the proposal presentations, scheduling any sort of checkpoints for some sort of big projects you're doing, strategy sessions for your own improvement, date nights for your significant other, vacations for your family, for yourself, and then finally health, your exercise. Schedule that stuff. That's the success habit for today. Schedule your way to success. Because like Tony Robbins said, if you just talk about it, it's a dream. If you envision it, it's possible. But if you schedule it, it's real. That's it for today's episode, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to join you in your sales journey. See you next time. Hey, if you enjoy listening to this podcast and you're a B2B salesperson looking for extraordinary results, you have to check out my Outliers community. It's my monthly coaching program where we build the skills and habits needed to take your sales results far beyond your peers and out to where the highest income earners are in your industry, or as I call them, the outliers. Join me in the Outliers community at www.modernSalesTraining.com/outliers. Make sure you type modernsalesTraining.com/OUTLIERS. I'd love to have you join me in my Outliers community. See you there.